Consistency? I've never met her. Don't get me wrong, she's the type I'd like to be, but we just don't vibe, I think, with who we actually are. We're cutting ash, baby. All that consistency stuff is a joke about me not having made a video in 4 months. Winter happened. I stayed out here doing stuff. The sawmill broke. I tried to make a few videos about the sawmill being made of pure Chinesium. I'll sum it up as if you're shopping, do not recommend. Stuff's not great. The short of it is, this cannot possibly get tight enough to keep your tension where it's at. It cannot possibly do it. I've got washers on both sides, and we are tightened down to 3 grunts. Like, it's very tight. But anyways, it's now doing what I want it to do, but it will not without then clamping. You can see how tight I had to get the clamp by putting the channel locks on it. But that's all bad news, though. The good news is the weather's great. The dog's out here. There's a lot to catch up on. I've been doing stuff. We're cutting ash, baby boy. We're cutting ash. Have yourself a gander. Look at that. Oh, I've been cutting all day. I finally got it back. I have not cut in months and months, and I'm cutting real thin. I'm cutting a bunch of real thin because that little sneak peek you got over there. Have a gander. Look, right, we're doing it. We got the tools out. We got the chargers out. Need to start a fire. Got logs left to cut. Got a bunch of logs left to cut, so we got stuff to do. This is other stuff to do. Look, we got a tote. That is not food safe. It's full of weird adhesive. I don't know, I'm gonna wash it out. It'll hold water. It'll lube the saw. It will water plants. I'm not gonna drink out of it, though. It will flush a toilet, because this is a wind sail that you can shit in. Mind the gap. There's a little mess going on. We dug a hole deep as we could. You might be able to see there is some toilet paper in there. It's a toilet, dude. What do you expect? I have I have aspirations of better. There's a toilet seat in there, and there's gonna be a proper going here. And I went ahead and got expanding foam in the building that wasn't built at all, because I had expanding foam on me and ran out of other stuff to do. OSB in the back and the sides that will not be seen, because the dilemma was, non-lemma was I found a bunch of OSB real cheap on the internet. The sawmill was not working is back to dilemma. But now it is. So all of the stuff with foam was all we had. I had some homies out and we ran up the wall. But now the stuff without foam is brand new. It's got a polycarb, I think. It's got a clear ceiling for the way things are. Have a gander upon it being so freaking cute, bud. Speaking of cute, I had friends over. Can you see them? String lights fell down. Been out here doing stuff, dude. My cousin he came over real proud and he said, I stacked rocks in front of the entrance. We got like a walkway. He did. But this has to go. We put a probe around that. That's large rock, so I'm gonna have to drill, and then start hammering upon it. Tick season is horrible. I'm covered in ticks. If you see the camera just lose control, I've just felt a tick. All this new stuff, I gotta go along, get a straight edges, because it looks so much nicer. But this isn't, you say, Mom, I want a log cabin. She says, we have a log cabin at home. There's logs on it, and it isn't a cabin. So whatever is clever. We got tool storage and a bunch of free tree quota. Under a little bit of roof. But if you gander upon how much I care, you'll find out that not much, man. This is probably going to be enough to be a floor for this. If you know who I am and have tuned along, this is not tuned along. This isn't the first video. We put a foundation, really being liberal with the use of the term foundation. We put these pillars in, and I did that rock stack before winter, in fall. My plan here, this is a 16 by 16 square, and I'm going to have some Whitwards in the middle of it, and then I'm going to come back along and rock stack up to the floor at every single point I can get. These corners, well, one, you want corners to be the best. Two, I can tie off. You have to It's not a permanent structure, but I can retain it to those so it doesn't wind sail away. This is also a rock stack that needs cleaned up. I tried to do a different type of thing and it didn't work. Don't ask me questions. Just come party, dude. Like, come, if you want to work on it, come hang out. I don't know what I'm doing either. This does have some stupid longs drilled into the largest rocks, like 6 of them. So it hath been retained a bit, but it is just a from this front end. Let's see what I can get here. I can do that, and I think I'm like 7.5 at my full stretch. So remember, that's about 7.5, and if you really gander upon it, it's large. It's got a largeness to it that I like. It is going to have a gutter on the ass end of it, and a shoomp where I'm gonna put one of these that's actually watertight. That was just down the road on Facebook Marketplace, like 15 minutes away and $20. So that's why I got the one that isn't water safe. I'm gonna build a platform, and then gutter, and then big building, gutter. Get it? That's the goal there. You could shit in there, and eventually you'll be able to wash your hands in there. He can shit wherever he wants. Lucky little bastard. I had friends out. We burned a bunch of wood. And I haven't really spent all that much time out other than that. It's been winter, dude. What have you been doing? We got a lot more cut wood in the woods, and we got a lot more wood to cut. I have the extension for this. Right now we can cut a max 8-footer, and I would like to cut more, so I'm going to, once I get that extension, I think it takes it so we can cut a 12-foot log, and that's what some of those are. I cut these, ash, cut them down so I can have them now, and then that, what was that? A Tennessee elm, I think? It's a Tennessee elm because it grows really just in Tennessee. So I went ahead and cut it down. It's that stump over there. It was standing above where I want to do my thing. Selective pruning. Keep whatever. But there's plenty of that. There's plenty of ash. And then there's plenty more where that came from. So really what I got to do is I just got to hop on this thing and continue making piles. Oh, this, I line this up and snort it, man. This is my favorite stuff on earth. Do you ever touch a thing and you're like, this is who I am as a substance? That's what I do with this. This is who I am as a substance. So I'm gonna make more of it. We're gonna make more of it. He doesn't like the noise, so he sits in there, but I put headphones in and I sit right here and I cut more wood. If you would like to know more about this, tell me. I'll do something about it. I'll make the frickin' video to talk about where and why it sucks. There's a lot of reasons. I think I would do... I don't want to just talk shit about it. I am making sawdust, but it doesn't just run and make sawdust. Also, it isn't very stout. When you're cutting, it just gets to frickin' going, and that's scary. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take a bunch of these, I'm gonna start slapping them onto that, and then the bottom cut is minimum you can cut 2 inches. So all of those are going over here. I don't have any of them that are 7 feet right now because of the way things are going. So I'm gonna get some long ones. Don't look at the long one. It's not the one I want to use for the door. I'm gonna frame a door and a window also eventually for the thing. There you go. Get so updated, I might be back for more. I'll tell you one thing, and I'm willing to say it twice. I forgot it. Spending winter on your ass and then coming out here in the spring, it's 75 degrees in Tennessee. This much work, it was like middle of the window. You could see where the new wood started anyways. I did that all today. It'll kick your ass, but I'm tired. It's 4 p.m. I've been out here since 8. Hey, that's a work day right there. I didn't even take lunch. I deserve a raise. I think this looks super neat. Ha, look at it. I didn't care about, seams lining up. Seams don't cross the door. Stuff like that is the way it is because this is the way it is. And I hear you right now saying, damn, he only went that far. That's not much progress in a day. Every single board had to be cut. Should you cut wood and immediately put it on a structure? No, you shouldn't. But I also kind of don't care what you do. The ash that's over there is dry as hell. Standing dead, long time. I'm not that worried about it. Let's go over here. Tell you what, let's go over here. The knot ash below it, the elm, Tennessee elm, had some moisture. You could tell because of the way it was. There's a lot of sapwood in this elm. This is all sap. That's not. But here's the weird part. With the sun hitting this, this is dry. Did you hear it? I do. That's not the best test anyways, but the heartwood was dry. The sapwood, you could tell by the sawdust it was leaving, it was not, indeed was not, dry. I don't think I care. It's nailed in real good with like 2.5 inch long brads. Corner, 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 go down the edge, corner, 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 go down the edge, and stuff might pop a seal, you know, like down at the bottom, sun drying on this side, that's gonna wanna make it cup. Nope, the other. It's gonna go like this, because this will get drier and wanna shrink, and this in the back will not be dry, so the wood will go. And if I pop a guy, I don't really care. This is all getting trim. Every single corner is gonna get trim. So we'll come through with those trim pieces and maybe run some screws into it, and that's gonna suck it. That's gonna suck it all down. That's why I don't care. We don't need to wonder about what happened here. We're not even gonna get into it. Let's not even get into any of that. Because look, when you don't care, you don't care. It's all gonna get covered up. I'm not polishing a turd, I'm cutting a turd. I'm making turd. Like gap there, we don't care. That is probably gonna stay the way it is. I do need to get another sheet of the poly, and I need to hang out a couple ribs into the Whitward and the accordulants. This side already hangs out pretty good. Here's where my logic was when I started. On that side, I hung over a 1/2 inch because I was like, I'm putting 1/2 inch material on. I was up there holding the sheet. I didn't plan it out good enough ahead of time. Putting a 1/2 inch on a 1/2 inch is minimally an inch, and then you put some acromin into it. Yeah, we got some gaps, but yeah, I keep umming and humming, because that's what I'm doing out here. I'm figuring it out as I go, so I'm trying to tell you the hindsight of Dan in the flow state. What happened was I did all of this. And at the end, whenever it already looks good, at the end when it comes together, it's gonna look even better. We're gonna shoomp the corners, shoomp the door, shoomp the window, and I'm making the window. I got the cheapest acrylic I could find. I'll be your guinea pig if you want. I'll tell you how all that stuff goes. But just picture this with me. You have a seat right here, and you gander upon it. Obviously we'll zip, and in summer you won't see the mountain. But right now you can. It's out there. And I'm happy. Me and Jack's just roaming around, doing our favorite things. My favorite things. Wow. Anyways, I hope you also are doing your favorite things. And if you're not, why? Why? Get off your ass. I don't even care if you're in a wheelchair and you're stuck on your ass. Go to the shop. Go outside if you don't have a shop. Find a makerspace. And go to it to do stuff that you like doing. Because if you're not having fun, whose fault is that? Do you see it? Do you see it? I see it. I'll give you a couple more seconds. And there it is. Is that red? It's a yellow widow. Anyways, we're here with the animals. We're back gonna do some fricasson today. It's for fricasson day. We're gonna get this thing unwrapped, and I meant to have bought a bigger tarp because my goal was to make that cut pile. If you don't know what's in here, I can illuminate the topic for you. Oh yeah. Oh, doesn't that just make you...
GPS signal lost.
Okay, this is the last bits. The saw cuts, the last cut is maximum depth of 2 inches. I'm cutting off the top, so it has to leave 2 inches. So I'm gonna cut a bunch more of those. And maybe 1-inch stuff. I need to build, come on. We're jogging. I'm getting old. Jogging is weird and difficult. Here's what happened when I wasn't gonna do it anymore yesterday, but I like the kind of chintzy look of it. I'm gonna let it sun bake for a little while and hit it with a broom real hard, and then I am gonna slap a finish on this just because they aren't woods meant to be directly outdoors and getting wet. So what our plan is today is more. The paint is for the trailer, not this. I'm not spray painting this black. No, the plan is not more of this. I'm gonna cut a bunch of wood. I might make a door. Yesterday, this is day 2, by the way. Yesterday, my goal was to get high enough up that the rain wouldn't get in. I was like, I just want to get this thing fairly dry so I could store stuff in it. I need to have a thing I can lock out here because I'm carrying everything in my truck and getting like 12 miles to the gallon. So I want to be able to lock this. And I was like, okay, I got to get high enough up to get out of the rain. I didn't put a door on it. Rain's still gonna get in there. About the cheapest polycarbonate they make. This is made to be like a sneeze guard. This is a Corvid guard, but they sell them real cheap. So we're gonna cut a little frame, put it in here. I've made straight up double panes before, and glass is not that expensive, but when you go to Home Depot, you buy what Home Depot has, and their polycarbonate is like $70. Lexan, Plexi, plastic names. I'm gonna unwrap this and we're gonna start a time lapse. And I'm gonna start running through these. I got at least 5 there to cut. And I do have the saw extension that I talked about previously, but I don't have the drive to put it on. I wanna cut wood, I don't wanna do wrenching. I wrench for job. And right now I have a bunch of stuff to cut that I can cut at this length, so guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut it this length, bud. Here we go. And I lied about that thing I said. Because of the way this thing is, blamed it on the machine, not me. It's not me. I noticed her walking a little bit on me yesterday, and I got these gaps. Look at that one. Look at that gap. So I throw the, look out dog, I throw the thing on, and you see we got contact. Uh-oh. 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 It's even worse over there. So what I need to do, because this is just a chatterbox, it's just gonna sit here and the whole time. So I think I have some Tapcons. I wanted to make sawdust, but the things you want aren't the things that provide you progress. So I'm going to realign and reflatten everything. It's got to be and corner to corner shim. It can't have any stuff going on in it, or your cuts are going to be bad. And I want good cuts. So what we're going to do today actually is start readjusting all the feet. I think I have Tapcons. I'm going to drill a little hole in the middle of the foot and then drill a little hole in the stone. The good news is this whole platform, it's just natural concrete. This is all rock everywhere. So yeah, we're gonna just secure it to the stone here and add more, which is, you know, if you look at the silver lining of it, we're gonna be like here instead of there, so I can cut them. This is called an 18. It doesn't want you to put anything bigger than 18 on it, and that's 16. So we're gonna give her a hot lunch once we do the thing that we need to do to get to that point. So to get to that point, I'm gonna do the thing I need to do. Max, you continue to disappoint. If you're wondering what that nut's doing there, but the package just got opened, well, I had this delivered to a buddy's house because of the way it was, and there were a couple of washers sitting on top of the box, and I thought those have to be his washers. Nope, it turns out they were mine. All I did was pull the lid off. This was already like this. This was already like this. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna salvage everything I can and hope there's enough nuts and bolts left in the package to put this thing together. I'm looking, and I don't see, unless they were in this itself, which is just, I mean, it's gotta be a prank, right? This has to be an intentional prank. Because they know this stuff is gonna be shipped internationally, and the fact that every single nut and bolt is not in this bag makes me think there never was. Oh, we do have a bolt in the bag. Maybe they did used to be in this bag, but every single one of them is out. So, see, look at what's happening. Goodness freaking gracious. Anyways, we continue on. I got a time lapse set up, so you're gonna see what I'm doing. So I don't have to try to hold a phone and work and be frustrated. I'm just gonna power on. And the theme continues. This is just legitimately not going to work. These are the adjustments for these. Do you see how that works? And those. But what comes in the package is the orange bits, like you would expect. The orange bits are the orange bits that do this. And it has these, but it does not have any of the other parts that those go into. Those are this entire beam, this assembly, and this is the log lock. And these are the Whitward log lock. It does not come with any of those, but it does come with the hardware for it. So, I basically have built my own mill. I haven't, but I'm just really upset with that. Oh yeah, we have polished this polished this turd to the best of my ability. If you look at it, is it perfect? No, but it's the same all the way along it, and that's really what I care about. It also does this a little bit, but I don't, like I said, as long as it is flat. What does this look like to you? I can't really do this with my eye. How do you like that? I can't even see where my camera is because of the thing, but if you like it, I like it, and if you don't, I still like it because it's as good as it's gonna get for this. I'm gonna start cutting logs. I do not have the accoutrement to drill my holes in the Tapcons like I thought I did. Jax, I'm trying to talk over here, bud. That's so loud. But what I do have is logs that need cut and gasoline, so I'm gonna switch gears and we're going to start doing my favorite bit, making more of this. Just rolling in it today, bud. Just rolling in it. Which I like. Okay, here I go, I'm gonna do this. One last time, a couple more small things I forgot to mention because of the way things were in here, all the nuts and washers are gone. So here, at our integral connection point, we've got holes. We've got holes on both sides. Did it the best I could with what I had for what I was doing. It did not come with another clamp assembly down here. So I still want to be able to run small logs. So I'm keeping all of that assembly down there. I don't live close enough to justify running to the store, and I'm also trying not to spend any money. So what I'm gonna do is leave those the way they are and then hope that if I'm clamping something that comes all the way out here, it's also gonna have girth of its own. So if I clamp it hard down here, we'll hopefully be okay. I'll pay attention to it. Shut up, I got it. So now that's what we got going on is that I'm about to start cutting. Well, believe it or not, it happened. I got a pile of junk. Look at this, though. Look at this junk. Oh, it's red oak, I think. It's hard to tell when you first cut it because it lightens out in the sun. Just setting here up, but this was red as hell when I cut it. Boy, I tell you what, is red as hell. All of that is the bad stuff. So imagine what the good stuff looks like. This did indeed work. You gotta frickin' watch this saw, man. Shuffle through your sawdust pile and you're gonna find extra bolts. This is all the bullshit, but all the dirty ones just fell out. Just fell out while I was cutting. Others are falling out, but I put the important ones back. Every time you go to use this, you really want to go around it and tighten stuff up. It's raining, I should cover that, but it is still quite hot. That's why we're calling it a day. It did begin to rain on us. Look at this, though. Oh, that's brand new. So I cut stuff, you know, we cut stuff, we came back out, and I hope that you are cutting stuff out of your life, too. I'll figure out where I'm going. Just have yourself a good time. What matters is that you're doing what you want, and probably sitting there on your ass doing nothing is not what you want. So get up, get out, and go do it.